When we're young, we have an amazing, positive outlook about how great life is going to be, but somewhere along the line, we forget to dream and end up settling. Join Up Dots features amazing people who refuse to give up and chose to go after their dreams. This is your blueprint for greatness. So here's your host, live from the back of his garden in the UK, David Ralph.
Yes, hello there. Good morning, everybody. Good morning to Join Up Dots listeners and other listeners. If you listen to other podcasts and you've just stumbled across here on the off chance of seeing what it's all about, and you think to yourself, what is this all about? I will have to lend my ears for 15, 20 minutes. Welcome to Join Up Dots. This is the Entrepreneur Success Story Show with motivation, conversation, a few laughs, a little bit of banter, and occasionally, the Gargle Game. And the Gargle Game is coming back today. I feel like it hasn't been around for quite a while, and so I think it's time to bring it back. Well, today is extremely hot in the United Kingdom. We are touching 34 degrees, and I'm in my recording studio, which is generally quite cool. But then when I record, I turn off all the fans and stuff. Today, I can't bear it, people. I'm literally naked, wearing just one sock. I won't tell you where that sock is covering, but I've got the fans on. So if you can hear a hum in the background, I apologise. It's not to my normal professionalism, but it's either that or sweat dripping down every orifice and crack in a body. And that's not good. That's not good for any podcaster. Oh, before we start, I just want to say I discovered a guy the other day, and his name is Brownhill Photography. And I'm just going to Google it to make sure that I've said that right. Brownhill Photography, yeah. Now, this guy connected with me through Instagram, I think it was. And you really need to go over to his website. If you haven't checked out this guy's photos, it is amazing. Now, I'm on there now. And what he does, he takes a normal scene, and I don't know what he does to it, but he kind of sprinkles it with magic. It's like fairies have sprinkled fairy dust over these scenes, which would be normal, but they turn into something magical. And I was floating up and down I might actually invite him on the show. Yes. So if you are listening, Stephen from Brownhill Photography, and you fancy coming on to Join Up Dots as being a guest, because I think you've got a bit of an interesting story, how you have followed your passion from London down to Devon, and you're taking photos and building this remarkable business. I think it's great. Connect with us and say, yes, I'd like to be a guest on Join Up Dots, because these images are absolutely amazing. And the reason I'm saying that is I get a lot of emails from people saying, oh, I don't know, what to do. I don't know, everybody else has got everything covered. Now, go over to this guy, and I don't know if he's got photos there right at the very beginning, but I'm sure they're not as good as they are now, because you get better by doing it. And that's the key thing to everything. You may not think that you are as polished, but as long as you've got the passion, as long as you've got the enthusiasm to start doing it and doing it daily, then you're going to be all right. You're going to be all right. Now, I wouldn't say I'm the greatest podcaster in the world, but I do it every day, and so I must be better now than I was at the beginning. And that's what it's all about, is those incremental steps, that compound effect. When I first made love, it may surprise you, I probably wasn't very good. Yes, the lady or ladies were on life support system by the end of it, but still, I thought I let myself down. I did. But now, hey, it's a different matter, because I'm 47 years old and I've done it a few times. Don't tell the wife. But yes, I have. And so it's all about just getting better, starting something and getting better at it. So the Gargle Game is going to come back in a little while. But what we're going to do first, we're just going to answer some questions. I've got 4 questions. I've been answering most of them by email over the last few weeks, and I've started recording little videos as well, because it's easier to record videos and audio than it is actually doing typing. Although I have discovered recently in Google Drive, and most of you will probably be going, yeah, this has been around for years, but you can click a little microphone, and I happen to have a microphone right in front of me, and when you talk, it types for you. And it comes out pretty damn good, as long as you tell them to do full stops and stuff. It's amazing. So, things like that, video, audio, I will respond to all of you, so you actually get to see my sweatiness. Yes, my sweaty brow, my sweaty body, and my 6-pack, my 8-pack, probably a 10-pack now, I think it is. That's how I'm looking after myself. Anyway, I'm rambling. These are the questions today, and the first one is from a lady called Jennifer Millard in Perth in Scotland, which probably at this time of year is daylight all day. June the 21st, it never gets dark up there. You can take a photo at 2 o'clock in the morning. Stephen from Brown Hill, go up there and your business will flourish. You can work 24 hours a day. Now, Jennifer asked, Dear David and everybody at Join Up Dots, thank you so much for an amazing podcast. It is real brain food every single time. I have a quick question, if you'd be so kind to spare the time. I've got the time, Jennifer. I've got the time for you. That's what I do. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't know what to answer. So ask away. Oh, she has. I have recently started a coaching business teaching single mothers how to free time, make money on the side and still look after their children. Yeah, great. Although it was going really well at the beginning, I found that my clients have dried up. I've asked my clients for referrals as they all say that what I'm providing is amazing, but still I'm struggling for business. Any idea at all? As otherwise I might have to go back to work. Thank you so much for your time, Jennifer Miller. Yeah, I think the number one thing, Jennifer, and I think I struggled with this at the beginning, is you've got to kind of get over yourself. You've got to ask everywhere, and you've got to spread your platform in areas where these people, single mothers, are waiting. And so there's a thing in the United Kingdom, and I'm sure there's places like this across the world, called Mumsnet, that I remember my wife used to go on. She wasn't a single mother, but I wasn't around a lot in those days, and so she probably was going on Mumsnet and slagging me off. And you can go on there and you can start posting. And you don't ever want to post saying, I'm a coach, I will do this, I will do that. You just start interacting and engaging and start leaving little hooks out saying, oh yeah, I understand how that was. When I was talking to one of my clients the other day, she was going blah, 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 and just sort of share your information but not make it too spammy. And it's very easy to get clients when you can get them from that point of being interested through to you to talk to you personally. Now, what a lot of people do wrong, in my view, and once again, I'm holding my hand up here, people. If you have got the webcam on, you would see I'm holding my hand up. When I started up Join Up Dots, I did very much everything to just make it automatic so that people didn't have to contact me, so they would buy my products and everything would be video and stuff. And it's a bit of a slog to get that going. People want to be engaged. They want to understand you. They want to feel that you're trustworthy. So I think a great way of doing it is just say to them what they call a discovery call. Connect with me on Skype, no cost at all, and let's talk for half hour. Let's just see what your issues are and we'll see what we can do. And it just gives them an understanding of who they're dealing with. And it doesn't cost you anything other than time and a Skype connection, but it just puts their mind at rest. And I think that most people will have maybe 3 or 4 touch points before they will sign up to you. And I do it myself, but I look at something. At the moment, I'm looking at Google Home. Okay, Google, tell me what the weather's like today. And I must have been looking at this maybe for 3 months now. I'm a bit tight when it comes to spending stuff on gadgets that you don't really need. And it keeps on coming back to me. Every time I go on to Google itself, little adverts pop up. And that's what I need to buy. I need gentle prompting all the time until I finally make up my mind of, yes, I can do that. And by building up that communication with people and getting them to actually see you, talk to you personally and understand you, you would be able to get quite a lot of clients, because what you're doing, I can see, is an absolute it's a rocking and rolling business, because that's what single mothers want. They struggle for money, they struggle to look after their children, and of course they want to make money on the side to sort of make it easier for them. Also, you can go onto Facebook, that's brilliant as well. I wouldn't imagine LinkedIn would be any good for you. Twitter, Instagram, I would imagine Instagram would be a great way. Build up an Instagram platform and start using hashtags and connecting with people. Hashtag single mums, mothers, online income from home, all the kind of hashtags that you think that your clients might be posting themselves, and start commenting and connecting. But don't make it cheesy and spammy, because you'll lose them straight away. Just do it from the heart. Provide value, value, value. I think provide value 4 times and then you'll be rocking and rolling. And if you did have to go back to work, then don't worry about it. You know, nobody's kicking you unless it's something that you really don't want to do. I mean, if it's something you don't really want to do, don't do it. Do something else. You know, I've said many times that at the beginning of Join Up Dots, I left a very good corporate gig and I ended up delivering takeaway Indian in the evening just to sort of cover the shortfall. Did I like doing it? Not really, but it was okay. But I knew what I wanted to gain. I was happy to go back and do something else. And I would do that now. Even though Join Up Dots is rocking and rolling, if I suddenly needed a huge investment into it for some reason and I didn't have that, I'm not somebody that would just whack it on a credit card. I would rather go off and do a job, filling up shelves, supermarkets, the kind of stuff that you can just get a job, do it for a period of time and then drop off. But I think, Jennifer, that you're going to do well on that. And of course, if you want any more help, I'll give you a chat. We'll connect on Skype and we will have a word. Okay? Right, question 2, and then we're going to do the gargle game. And I've got to think of a song for the gargle game. I'm a bit ill-prepared today. I think the sun has got to me. The lovely ladies walking around and running. Well, no, people don't run anymore. Have you noticed that? They just all walk around with bottles of water. What happened to tap water? When did we suddenly have to start buying water that for years and years and years was free? Don't understand it. Right, okay. Hi, David. I was listening to your recent episode with Danny Dover entitled Life List, yeah, and was so intrigued I went back and listened to the first time that Danny appeared on the show. Great stuff as always. Now, my question to you is, do you have a life list and what is in it? Thanks for all the best. Thanks. Right, I'm not sure how that says. Carol Archer of St Helens in England. I don't really have a life list, and a lot of the things that people put on life list, like bungee jumping and swimming with sharks and going up Everest, it doesn't really fill me with joy. I'd quite like to go to the top of Everest if somebody could just plop me on there and I could look around for a while and then just sort of come back down. The effort getting back up there and back down, because that's the thing, once you get up there, it's hard enough. You can die getting up there, but once you're there, you're exhausted and then you've got to climb down, and they say it's doubly dangerous coming back down. If there was a lift or an elevator or something, I might want to do it. But that's a good question. What's on my life list? I think most of mine, Carol, is based around freedom. I don't like too many restrictions. So the ability to just go down the pub in the afternoon and have a few drinks because it's a lovely afternoon without having to sort of book time off from work and stuff, that would be, that would be one of my life lists, really. I would like to finish off every state in America. I've got 2 more to do, Alaska and Hawaii, although I'm not too keen on going to Hawaii. I'd like to... I think travel and freedom. I think those 2 things are the thing that really that I want more than anything. And that's why everything that I do in Join Up Dots is based around me being in control of my time. I record on the day that I dictate. I speak to clients on the days that I dictate. I'm very much in the case of not leaving myself open so that suddenly I've created a job for myself and I can't get away. So time and freedom is the thing. But yeah, if you haven't heard the Danny Dover episodes, I would listen to episode 1 first. 100, was it 108 or something? And then go over to the recent one and you can see how he's progressed and how he decided that he was going to do 150 things. And he set off and he's almost done it. And they're really weird things, like I'm learning to do a backflip and learning how to pickpocket and all these kind of weird, crazy things. I don't know if it would fit on my life list, but that's what he wants to do. So thank you very much, Carol, for your question. Thank you very much for your question. Now I'm going to bring back the gargle game, it's the greatest game. Yes, this is the part of the show that we haven't had for quite a while, and it's world famous, yes. You've heard of carpool karaoke. I'm going to do gargling karaoke, where I sit with celebrities in my office and we gargle together. Roll over, James Corden, which would be quite difficult to do because he's a large lad. But David Ralph is coming with the gargle game. The gargle game, it's the greatest game. Right, okay, so I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do today. I am going to give free for the first person that emails me with the name of the song. I'm normally going to do a coaching call, but I'm going to give my interview masterclass course away, which I sell for $400 $480, $490, whatever. I'm going to give that away to the first person that emails me with the answer of this song that I'm going to certainly think about. And if you just put in the email at joinupdots@gmail.com, the Gargle Game, and the name of the song, I will send you a secure link for the interview masterclass. Now, it will probably be more beneficial for anybody who is in communications, whether you are a podcaster or whatever, or you could, once you've got the login, you could give it to somebody as a gift and they think that you're the most generous person on the planet. So this is today's song, and I'm desperately trying to think of what I should do. So this is it. Right, I'm filling up my mouth with water. Made a mistake again. Got to move my microphone up higher. So I'm moving my microphone up higher so I can tip my head back and still be on the microphone, sounding deep and sexy. Here we go. And the tip, if you've listened to the Gargle Game before, is not too much water. If you're going to be playing this with your friends and family, not too much. Just a little puddle at the back of the throat is the key. Otherwise, you start to drown. Here we go. Bit more water. And then it's going to be a key change. Can't do any more of that. That was enough of it. Move my microphone down. A little bit of banging there on the mic. But there we go. So if you know what the person, and tell me the person as well, not just a song. Joinupdots@gmail.com and the Gargle Game. Name of the artist and the song to make it a little bit difficult, because I am throwing in nearly $500 of product. Yes, I am. And I will email you the log on, and you can have a look at the course, because it's a pretty good one. And as I say, it's going to be very, very useful for anyone who is into interviewing anyone, whether it's in a job situation or it's in a podcast. It works exactly the same. Right, okay. Question three. David, I've recently discovered Join Up Dots and wish I'd listened to it earlier. I've been watching lots of people doing Facebook Live, and I remember hearing you say that you think that it is ill-constructed and ill-prepared. Yeah. Everybody seems to be doing it. Why do you think that it's so popular, and have you got any plans to do the same? Cheers. Mike Hackett from Texas, USA. Yes and no and yes. Yeah, everyone's doing it, Mike, and it annoys me because they're not preparing it. I don't understand why you think that with Facebook Live you can just turn on the microphone and start talking. I don't do that in podcasting land. I do preparation. Every single show I've researched. I understand who the guest is. Even these interviews, these question shows, I have looked at the questions first of all, and I've got a rough understanding of what they're about. And so in Facebook Live, they just turn on the microphone at weird places. They're pushing a kid along in a buggy. They've just come out of the gym. I don't know if it's supposed to make it more live. I don't know, but I don't understand. And certainly the churn rate is enormous. When you listen to these people, very few of them do you stay with, because they haven't really thought out their message. Everything that you need to do on Facebook Live, I think, has to have... It's got to be based around the news. And everything needs to be based around the news. This is the key to any training course, any podcast. You've got to tell them what you tell them. Tell them what you're going to tell them, and then tell them what you told them. And that's the key thing. I'll go through that again. You tell them what you're going to tell them, and then you tell them, and then you tell them what you told them. And so in the news at the beginning, they say, in today's episode, we are going to, and they tell you about the awful things they're going to tell you. And then they do that, and then in the summary at the end, they tell you again. That's a brilliant way of retaining information. That's why in Join Up Dots, I give you a big introduction at the beginning. That then gets summarised basically in the show, and that at the end we get another summary, because I'm going to tell you once again what I told you through the show. And With Facebook Live, they don't do that. Now, I'm going to be jumping onto Facebook Live because I have a course, Podcasters Mastery. And I've got a page out there called Podcasters Mastery, which I haven't really used for the reasons of ill preparation. But I'm going to start doing Facebook Live courses, basically every day, free, talking about podcasting into Facebook. But it's going to be prepared. I'm going to tell them what I'm going to tell them, and then I'm going to tell them, and then I'm going to tell them what I told them. And I'm going to talk about a subject. It's going to be defined. It's going to be about podcasting or interviewing, and in and out, done. Doesn't have to be for hours. It just has to be a Facebook Live. Now, any of the streaming works incredibly well, as I was saying earlier with Jennifer Millard about connecting with people and actually talking to them one-to-one. Facebook does that brilliantly because you can actually see the person, you get an understanding of who that person is. But people don't. They just sort of turn on. So I think it's brilliant, but I think it's just ill-used. And I think with everything, you will get the top guys that really rock and roll it. And I think most of them, you'll see them making it more like a TV show. You want to actually watch because it's prepared. It's quality information more than just thrown up. You know, Gary V, for example, Gary Vaynerchuk, he used to do that wine thing, and I don't know if he still does that, but that was like a proper TV show, even though he did it in his basement. It was a bit Wayne's World in the early days, but it got more and more professional, and as it got more and more professional, then the listeners went up. Don't want the churn rate. You don't want people to just go, what's this? That sounds rubbish, and turn it off. You want people to be intrigued, and that's why that's really good to tell them what you're going to tell them, then tell them, and then tell them what you told them, and at least they will stay with you for quite a period. So it's good, but not being used, Mike. Right, okay, last question. We're at 21 minutes now. David, great show. Everything is great show. I'm a podcaster. Everybody loves me. Well, I hope you do. And if you do, I love you as well. And I will come round on hot days and lay flannels on your chest. Especially the ladies. Or men with lovely moves. I have a couple of quick questions and would appreciate it if you could answer it on the show or in response to this email. Question 1. 2 questions from Claire Harding, Christchurch. What made you jump into entrepreneurship? I know this seems a simple question to ask, but wouldn't it have been easier to stay in your job? Oh, yes, Claire, it would have been easier. And right, let's answer that before we do the second one. Why did I jump into it? The bubble had to burst. I was just seeing people doing amazing stuff. I saw people looking like they were enjoying themselves, and I wasn't, Claire. I was just going through the motions. I was turning up at the job, getting through the day, coming home, waking up the next morning, and there was nothing exciting. There was nothing enthusiastic about me. It was just kind of, it wasn't even boring. I was like The Walking Dead. And every now and again, I'd have bursts of real enjoyment. And that was mainly when I was doing stand-up presentations and training, and I was just enjoying myself. And I thought, this is how life should be. You know, I should be enjoying myself to earn money. And then a lady came in, and we didn't quite gel, so to speak, and I had to quit. I just couldn't bear working with her. But looking back on it, it wasn't her fault at all. It was just the fact that I was bored, and I was a coward to leave. Now, in answer to your second question, I could see, what is it? Sorry. What is the hardest obstacle to overcome in building your business in the early stages? Thanks very much. All the best, Claire Harding, Christchurch, New Zealand. Well, the hardest thing, I think, twofold. Number one, you think you're going to get it off the ground quicker because you look at everybody and they seem to just sort of be doing really, really well. That was a big eye-opener to me. At the beginning, I couldn't get it going. I wasn't earning any money from it. That was difficult. And then the extra investment, I think that's the biggest obstacle. Even though I've got an online business that you kind of think, okay, you buy a microphone, you buy recording, you don't realise how much money you need to actually be able to grow it to where you want. At the moment, I'm spending thousands on a new website, which hopefully will really sort of ramp up the professionalism of Join Up Dots. I spent thousands on other stuff, and you don't realise until you get to that point that actually you need extra cash flow. And I I think 1 in 5 or probably 3 in 5 businesses crash in the first 2 years due to cash flow. They're not getting it in, so they can't spend it on salaries and investment and whatever. That is the hardest obstacle, and that's why I think that the majority of people out there really have to accept that you might have to do things that you don't want to do while you're building this thing. But if you really want it enough, then you can go for it. You know, I'm just looking at a sign by the side of me, and my kids gave this to me the other day, and it says, the key to happiness is having dreams. The key to success is making dreams come true. And I think that's it. You get a certain amount of success, but it's just kind of success. It doesn't pay you back. It doesn't give you monetary rewards. That's a difficult period to overcome. People are going, oh, you're doing brilliant, you're doing exceptionally well, and you're thinking, yeah, okay, I might be doing exceptionally well, but bloody hell, I've got no money in the bank account. What am I going to do about a mortgage? What am I going to do about this? And a lot of people give up at that point. But once you get to that next level, when that success starts coming to you, where people actually start coming to you asking for your services or your products, then it becomes a bit easier, and then you can proceed again. I'm a great one for putting everything I earn and 50% away. So I spend 50% on all the bills and stuff, and I save 50% to make it easier for the investment. So whatever happens with Join Up Dots, I can keep on doing it and keep on growing it. But I think they are the problems, Claire. I think, number one, you think it's going to take quicker. I think that with all businesses, really, to make it a proper business, you might get a few clients, you might get a bit of money coming in. That's not a business. That's just you picking up the scraps. To get the business really rocking and rolling, I think I would say 3 years until you can really say you're a business owner. You're absolutely, you know what you're doing, you know what you're bringing to the table, and everybody out there knows what you can bring to the table as well. Once you get to that point, then it becomes a lot easier. I would say I'm there. I've been there for quite a while, but I'm now trying to go to the next level, and so I'm kind of in the early stages again of trying to get a lot more money and try to push things out. So I could have coasted, but what's the point? I spent many years coasting. It's time to do something big, bold, beautiful. And so with the new website and different things that we've got going, hopefully that's going to sort of take it to the next level. But it's not easy. It's not easy, and if anybody says it's easy, and if anybody says, oh, work with me and we can get you with a business in 3 months and stuff, rubbish. Run a mile, really, run a mile, because there is a backstory that has to be discovered. You know, you have to write your own backstory to get there, and you can't define your business until you've been through a certain thing. I don't think anyone on Join Up Dots has had a business idea and it turned out to be perfect straight off. They do stuff, they do something else, and then they think that's not quite right, and then they think, oh, actually, I'm a bit better at that, and they can't kind of move forward. That's the way it's done. So, they were 4 questions. That was Jennifer Millard, that was Carol Archer from St Helens, Mike Hackett, and Claire Harding from Christchurch. Thank you so much for dropping those in. We're going to be making it easier soon with the website. You're going to have this little thing that you can click on it, and if you've got a microphone on your phone, whatever, just record a message and we can get you on Join Up Dots so you can hear yourself. That's going to be brilliant, so I'm going to look forward to doing that. But until the next episode, which is going to be the Rewind on Sunday, I'm going to be equally sweaty. I'm going to have even more fans pointing at me, and I'm going to enjoy myself, because that's what life is all about. Being yourself, making money, loving your job, and just being what you want to be. And every single one of you out there can be what you want to be. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Join Up Dots, and we will see you very shortly. See ya. Bye-bye.
David doesn't want you to become a faded version of the brilliant self you were once to become. So he's put together an amazing guide for you called the 8 Pieces of Advice That Every Successful Entrepreneur Practices, including the 2 that changed his life. Head over to joinupdots.com to download this amazing guide for free, and we'll see you tomorrow on Join Up Dots.